on, Sam?
Hey, Connor. You know what week it is this week?
What week is it this week?
It's fucking birthday week, man.
Birthday week?
You had your birthday. We're recording on the Friday the 16th. It's my birthday today. Your birthday was 2 days ago. I don't have one of those streamer things, but happy birthday.
Hell yeah, baby. Happy birthday to the both of us.
Yes. Wait, good for us. Making it another year.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's no small feat.
No.
Making it another year in the 20s here.
Yep. You're officially in your mid-20s. I guess depending on how you define it, not quite my mid-20s.
I do not. You know what? I was talking to, I think it was in the car on the way back home from Tundra Line, because I was saying the same thing. Because I was talking about my birthday coming up. And so I was like, I'm going to officially be my mid-20. And, well,
the mid-20. Right in the mid.
And Joey was like, no, that's not it. Like, it's the mid-20s. And he's like, I classify the mid-20s as 24 to 26. And
sounds reasonable.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck yourself, Joey. There's a middle, there's a median, and when you cross it, you're in the late 20s, and if you're before it, you're still in your early 20s. It's like the road. There's a median, you go over it, you're on the other side.
But you're close to the middle.
Correct. But
before going to the other side.
But you're not in the median.
Maybe okay, I see what you're saying. So
yeah.
you're only in your mid-20, your mid-20 for a year.
Correct.
And now next year you're in your late 20s.
Yes. And then as you get further along, you lengthen the word late. So like next year in November, Eric's gonna be in his late 20s. He's gonna be 27.
How does that work on the other side then? Is it your early 20s, or are you just like early 20s? You have to say it even shorter.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's because it's like 20 means nothing. 20 is like, great, you're not a teenager anymore. Like, I guess that's not true.
20 is 19 plus.
Pretty much, like, it doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Like, yeah, you're not a teenager, but I don't know. Like, it's kind of like the age 19. Like 19, like, what do you do with age 19?
It's the one after 18 and two before 21.
Yeah.
So
the same thing with 20.
Yeah, two after 18, one before 21.
Exactly. It's like, great, I have one more year until I can go into bars with my real ID.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I thought about it. And like 21 is obviously 21, you know, big deal. It's a big deal. And then I think, is 22 when you can rent a car?
I think it's, depends. This is more complicated than I originally thought. I thought it was 25, and that's not true.
No, that's, you get the extra fee for being, I found that out 25, when O'Shea called me.
Yeah, you can rent a car, but you just you had to pay like an extra $20 or something. I think that's a state by state thing. I don't know if that's just a universal law.
Okay.
But yes, I was under the impression I could not rent a car, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, until I was 25, and that's just not true.
Correct.
So in case I ever want to rent a car for some reason.
I swear it's 22, but I could be wrong.
What is it for hotel rooms?
21. Or no, sorry, it's not that. Because you can book hotel rooms. Maybe it's 19. I don't know. I could definitely book a hotel. We definitely booked hotel rooms before we were 21 when we went to Kansas City.
See, that's what I was just thinking. For some, I don't remember why I remember this from a trip I didn't even go on, but I thought it was a big to-do where you had to get Bruce to do all the hotel stuff.
I think that's what happened because
but wasn't he 21 at the time?
No, he was 20.
Oh, wow, that was a long time ago.
I know, man. Like, it's kind of weird to think about.
I was 18, I think.
Yep, that would have been correct. It was like right before he turned 21. Yeah.
Where is the time gone?
I don't know, man. It's slipping right through my fingers.
Jesus Christ. Never felt so
I'm all the way in my mid-20 now.
Yeah. I'm almost... You're halfway to 30. Well,
I know.
Wait, no, you're 2/3 of the way to 30.
I'm halfway to 30. Can you believe it?
Wait, no, not 2/3. You're 25 years on your way to 30.
I'm 25 30ths on my way to 30.
I swear to God, I've gotten dumber since I started working.
No, it's you. When you work, you learn all these like specific workplace things, but you lose all of the like academic abilities that you work so hard at in undergrad.
It's taking the slider, your balance, and going from breadth and switching and turning that all the way down and going 100% depth with your knowledge base.
Absolutely. Yes. I know how to write a workplace email very well now, but if you were to ask me to, I don't know, I don't even know what a good college skill is that would be for my major.
Could you analyze didn't you take some like counterterrorism class or something?
Yeah. See, those it's I guess, yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, kind of applicable in the sense that I was thinking about this the other day, that I don't think I'm very good anymore at, like, reading really fast and just, like, regurgitating what I read. Like, I got pretty good at, like, I had to read a lot in college, and then I got pretty good at paying attention to, like, the points that my professor made, like, writing down, like, the big, bold headlines, and then, like, oh, that's where that is in this reading. I'll remember that for later.
It's a surprise tool we'll use for later.
Yeah, it's like this isn't really like a this isn't really like me understanding the text in like an analytical sense. It's more like, you know, the teacher holds like the red ball in their hand, and then, you know, I have to find the picture of the red ball in the book. And it's like, that's it. There it is.
Eureka.
And then on the test, I have to, you know, where was the red ball? It was right there. It's there.
Yeah.
That's how I felt kind of with a lot of my tests, where it was like, I don't really feel like I'm being analytical. I feel like I'm just like puking up like a paragraph that was in my lecture from, you know, 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So for what that's worth, I don't know. I'm a better man for having gone to college.
I don't think anyone's saying you're not, but boy, yeah, there's things I look at now. Like, I've been out a year and change now, but something will come up like at work that's not exactly related to what I do, but like concrete design, which we don't do that, but I took a concrete class kind of, and I was like, yes, the thing that's made out of cement and water and rocks. Very hard. You put steel in it to make it better.
Yes. The material that goes in the trucks that spins the big wheel.
Yes. Concrete mixer. Culvers, I understand. Yeah, subcontractor can do that. Punt, not part of our services. We don't do that.
Punt.
We have
I bet you could hide a body in this material.
Yeah. So, and just to finish up on birthday week here, it's really interesting every year, like on your birthday, like, because as is practice, friends on the internet have to wish you a happy birthday on your feed or whatever, and it's like, man, all these people come out of the woodwork that I haven't talked to in years, but every year on August 16th. Here they are. It's interesting. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Weird social interaction that just happens.
I agree. It's kind of weird. It's year to year. You kind of you find out who's like, yeah, I don't. It's not really like an attempt to reconnect, but it's like somebody who like was like, oh yeah, I'll wish, Sam a happy birthday.
I'll take 3 seconds and do this.
Right. It's like you're really not making like a conscious effort to like get back into this person's life, really, but it is kind of like I do it too, so it's definitely like one of those things where like you do it and it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, I'll say happy birthday.
Yeah. No, yeah, I do it a ton less. It's more often than not I just pass when it's someone else's birthday. So
Punt.
Yeah, I don't really whatever. Fuck, I don't give a shit. But just interesting the people that don't punt when it's my birthday, because it's like, man, if I'm not posting on your timeline, I totally don't expect you to be reciprocating for something I didn't do. So it's fine. But like people, yeah, like Montana Leggett. Like, man, I don't know if I've ever actually even talked to you like in person. Like you were in the band and whatever, and I guess we're like peripherally know each other ish, I guess, but not really. But,
right, like,
oh, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna like everybody's post on my page except for one person.
Except for one person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm probably not gonna do that. Never mind.
Man.
So, whatever.
Well, speaking of coming out of the woodwork, I'm going to a wedding tomorrow.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the marriage.
Absolutely. Thank you. But it's for a high school friend who I was really good friends with in high school, and I'm still decent friends, for as good of friends as you can be for somebody who he went to school in like Milwaukee and lived in Milwaukee while I was going to school here. And we still talk occasionally. I definitely talked to him like the other week. We used to be big gaming buddies. And
bunch of gamer boys.
Yeah, dude. And so at this wedding, there's going to be a bunch of dudes who I was like friends with in high school, but like it's been like a number of years now since high school. Like it's been 7 years since I graduated high school.
So this is going to be a mini class reunion.
Pretty much. So it's like I am eagerly waiting to see how this turns out, because it's like I don't think there's any like I don't know how big this wedding is supposed to be, but I don't think there's supposed to be like, well, in like a class reunion you get everybody, like regardless of if you appreciated like a lot of people or not. In this situation it's like it's like a select group of people who I was like friends with.
Yeah.
In high school. So it's like, well, this ain't so bad. Like, these are all people that I like got along with at one point for sure. So I don't know, a lot of like, I'm sure it's a lot of, oh, what are you up to now? For like 4 hours. Well, for the first hour, and then you get some drinks flowing, and then it's here we go. Hey, you guys want to talk about Colin Kaepernick?
Oh, yeah, lead with that. What are you guys' thoughts on this whole trade deficit and the whole border wall? Not to get political or anything, but what is this Trump guy doing?
So anyway, that just made me think of that, because I'm still not totally sure who's all gonna be there, but I'm sure there's gonna be one dude who's like, oh yeah, you, my guy. Like
somebody you're not thinking of right now that's gonna kind of catch you off guard?
Yeah, I mean, literally, I think like a bunch of the people I've talked to at least once or twice since high school, but I know there's going to be at least one person who I like dead ass have not said a word to since I graduated high school. And that person, it's going to be like, oh my goodness. It's felt like a lifetime since I've seen you.
And just leave it at that. Let's keep it that way.
Haven't seen you in 7 years. Let's make it another 7.
See you at the next one.
Anyway, yeah, that should be good. I don't know. I'm very glad that I have Isabel coming with me because it's an easy like. All right, well, this is kind of weird. We're
getting kind of tired. We gotta go. It's at 8:30. We're gonna hit the.
I'm definitely not leaving that out of the equation. I mean, mostly because, well, after the wedding, we have to, the hotel for this place, it was, I think it was $180 a night, and it was a 2-night minimum. Like you couldn't book it for only Saturday. So I looked at that and it was like, oh my God, like this is like garbage. And I talked to one of my friends. I was like, yo, what are you doing? Because he's in the like actual wedding party. He's a groomsman, and he's like, oh well, all of us are staying at Grant's house, but there's like 7 of us there, so I don't know. You could sleep on the floor. And it's like, thanks, but probably not. And in order to get to Grant's house, like I've definitely been over to this guy's house like way earlier in my college career. Like after my freshman year, I spent a bunch of time at this guy's house, and it's still like a little bit. It's obviously still in downtown Milwaukee, but you still gotta like drive there. So it's like, well, either way, I have to like drive at some point here, or somebody has to drive between Isabel and me. So I think we're just staying with my aunt who lives in Greenfield, like 10 minutes outside of the city.
Okay.
But anyway, it got me it was like, oh, well, this probably isn't going to be like Jerry's wedding where it was like, oh my goodness. We've been drinking since 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it's midnight.
Man, but hey, we're at Memorial Union. I'm just going to walk home.
Yeah, exactly.
Be in my bed in 7 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, that having that like on campus and like living basically on campus was perfect.
Yes.
I don't think that could have gone any smoother.
No. So I understand that for most other weddings, like the deal is that you get a hotel room, like pretty close to like the venue. Like that's how that works.
Yeah, or you try and find an Airbnb now.
Yeah, right. But anyway, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you updated. But let's move along here because we're just kind of talking about this.
Yeah, we'll get a full report on that for next episode. And just one last thing, we just finish up on birthday week. You can give both Connor and I, all you listeners out there, the best birthday present you can get us. Head on over to patreon.com/definitelytheexperts, patreon.com/definitelytheexperts. Send us a birthday gift. Fuckers.
Hell yeah. Anything. Everything. The whole lot.
So, again, it's patreon.com/definitelytheexperts.
Definitely the experts.
Patreon.com/definelytheexperts.
Definitely the experts.
Definitely the experts. Patreon.com/definelytheexperts.
Definitely the experts. Anyway, preseason.
Yeah, we're halfway through it. 1 up, 1 down for the Packers. I've watched highlights of like 2 other games, and I don't have any thoughts on any of them. So we'll just stick to the Packers if that's what we do.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
We know about.
Well,
that's our team. Those are our boys.
Yes. So before we get into some real tough analysis that I'm gonna have very little to contribute to, because I think what I have to draw upon is I watched the NFL like highlight reel of the first preseason game for the Packers, because obviously I didn't really watch it because I was playing in the fucking band. and then
we were
the
playing
second
marching band.
Yeah, we're in the Green Bay Packers marching band. Find us on Facebook at Green Bay Packers
the marching
band.
marching meat men.
Marching
Marching meat Packers and cheese slappers.
Yeah, find us on Facebook. Anyway, so didn't really watch the first one except for the highlights, and then the one against the Ravens, I didn't even watch the highlight reel. I watched like the first half, I think, and then we did the podcast yesterday.
Well, we talked about the podcast.
Yeah, sorry, we had a conversation yesterday, so I didn't watch it. And
we exchanged some words.
Yeah, and so anyway, but I want to say before this though is that preseason, like I watched a bunch of different highlights of different teams, and it was like, oh my god, like I have like these are made up people. Like this is just like it's like it's what it feels like. It's just like you just like loaded a random like roster into Madden, and like you're just like watching the AI play the game. And
even better if you get like 5-6 seasons deep into Madden franchise mode, and then a rookie class every year that's all just random generated players.
Yeah,
so like, man, all these, that's
exactly it. I mean, it's so like watching this, it's like I don't know, who's that? Like every once in a while, it'll be like some second or third string guy that I recognize, or some guy who maybe was like used to be on the Packers. Like a J. Roan Elliott or something like that. Yeah. Like I'll see somebody like that pop up, and so like I don't know. Yeah, watching it is just like this is football for sure, and it entertains me. But it's like so hard to be even like I can be committed to watching like a game in the regular season between two random teams. Because usually through like some like, Kevin Bacon 7 degrees of separation, like I know that some guy on some team is like on my fantasy team, or some guy is like related to a guy on my fantasy team or something like that. And I know like most of the starters on most of the teams, so it's like it's easy to like be like at least invested in a game. But in this, it's like, I don't know, what even is this? Like the one year that I tried doing DFS in preseason, and it was like, I remember a couple of names from that, like, one instance, like Paul Perkins and Tajay Sharp.
It's your guy, Tajay Sharp. Yeah.
Tajay Sharp. Paul Perkins. Paul Perkins is still on the Giants.
Is he really?
Yeah, dude. He had a terrible fumble in one of these preseason games, and it was dreadful. But yeah, Paul Perkins still there. Tajay Sharp still there on the Titans.
Well, file that away for definitely not daily fantasy, but for regular fantasy.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, all right. What do you got on the Packers this preseason, Sam?
Well, it's just one thought to piggyback off what you're just saying there. I mean that's one of the reasons why if we're doing this thing where if we want to power rank, my favorite, do I like the Packers more or the Badgers more? I would say I like the Packers more because they're easier to follow because there's less turnover. Or to exactly what you're talking about when you watch one of these other random NFL teams in the preseason, you have no idea who any of these dudes are, and that's how it is at college football pretty much every year.
Right.
You have a handful of dudes on each team maybe that you recognize, but other than that, it's all just bunch of guys being dudes.
Yep. Playing
ball, but yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, Packers preseason training camp. Any thoughts here? Any players on this team, not other than starters that are standing out from the little bit of football that you've watched so far? Any guys that are standing out to you, Connor?
I mean, I guess there's a couple of different areas that I think are still getting sorted out in the preseason, which, I mean, the preseason is what it is. It's, specifically tailored to weed out some of these training camp players. So one of the groups that I mean, gets a lot of attention because it's a skill position is the wide receiver position. And for the Packers, I mean, specifically with the departure of Jordy Nelson a couple seasons ago, it's kind of been, and with Geronimo Allison missing all of last year, it was a big...
Randall Cobb's gone now, too.
Correct, yeah, Randall Cobb. It was a big question of what is this 3 wide receiver set going to look like for the Packers this season. So it's kind of been up in the air. There's been talk of, who's doing what, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, last year they drafted 3 guys in the draft, and I think they took a guy in this one too, maybe? Oh, he's never mind. He was
Darius Shepard
Darius Shepard.
Yeah. He's undrafted.
Yeah. So this was one that I like watching it play out because some of these guys, it's interesting to see where they'll end up. Jake Kumaro is having an electric preseason. He seems to be like the guy who's the reliable option for both Deshaun Kaiser and Tim Boyle.
And Aaron Rodgers loves him, so
yeah,
I would think he's safely in that number 4 spot.
Yeah, I agree. So then below that, he's been. He was a big talking point last year before he got hurt. So it was certainly if earning the praise of Aaron Rodgers. A guy who's been known to be pretty honest about what he thinks about his wide receivers. Below him, seeing what shakes out here, though, with some of these other guys, people like Trevor Davis, Equinemius St. Brown, Jamon Moore. These were some of the guys that we were talking about Trevor Davis because drafted in 2016, his time is certainly running out. He's been a contributor on special teams as a punt returner. And that was something that I think the Packers missed last year because he was hurt, and we were forced to. We talked about this one of these other weeks, but Tramon Williams was out there returning at one point, and it was like, oh my goodness, we are in some trouble. So, seeing how things shake out, apparently he's having a good camp, so that could be keeping him in contention. I'm looking at the depth chart actually right now, and it looks like it's Devontae Adams, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Geronimo Allison, and Jake Kumaro lining out those top 4, followed by Equinemius St. Brown, Trevor Davis, Alan Lazard, and then Jamon Moore.
I'd agree with that. And Darius Shepard is interesting. He's been the hot name in camp up till this point right now. Smaller, prototypical slot receiver guy, but also, he had one big kick return last night in the game and contributed on special teams in much the same way Trevor Davis can. So those two guys are similar in terms of what they're going to be able to bring to the team from a special teams perspective. And one of those two dudes are better suited on offense, and they can both contribute to special teams. And I think that guy is going to get the nod when it comes down to cut time,
right?
If that's who it comes down to. But yeah, Jamon Moore is again, everyone. That's also the big talk around town. He's struggling in camp still. Disappointment last year, somewhat understandable as a rookie, but yeah, too many drops, and apparently he's not grasping the offense. Not taking to it as quickly as a lot of the other guys, which it's a no good.
Right. Especially for a guy taken in the 4th round, it sucks, but we got a lot of dudes in there that are fighting for spots. So, I guess it's better to have this than to have not enough people. Yeah, filling out the depth, but
better than like the Giants situation at receiver.
Right, just like bare bones scraps. But I agree. A lot of people have been saying that Darius Shepard looks like a, the next Randall Cobb, which is, I mean, something of a fallacy just because, he's a short slot receiver, fast guy. So I don't know if he's the next Randall Cobb, but he definitely does look more like a prototypical slot receiver than a lot of the other guys that are out there right now. We have a lot of big-bodied dudes, which is pretty cool, actually. Like these dudes that are just giant, like Equinemius St. Brown. Dude's just huge and runs fast. Geronimo Allison is super fucking tall.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you always want those guys, but if you have a quick, crafty little guy working on the slot, that's useful too. And if he can make the team and be a contributor in some way, shape, or form as not even an undrafted free agent, a trial guy, he wasn't even a priority free agent.
Right.
So if he can make the roster and then be a contributor at any level, that's a huge that's a great find then at that for the feather in the cap for the front office.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving on from that, another position that the Packers are looking at, inside linebacker. So Oren Burks went down with a pectoral injury the other week, and out for the season, right?
Yeah, everything I've seen says he's likely out for the season. I don't know if that's been officially announced, but he hasn't been moved on injured reserve, I don't think.
No, he's still on the depth chart right now, but
yeah, every indication, everything I've heard says he's done for the year.
Yeah, which is terrible because Oren Burks was supposed to be, I mean, he was hurt last year as well, and it was kind of disappointing because inside linebacker is a position that the Packers still need depth at, but needed depth at last year as well. So an interesting name to follow was Ty Summers this preseason. He was drafted in the 7th round. He's been a contributor.
Yeah, he's enough to tackle him.
Yeah, and I mean, for a 7th round guy, it's kind of like, yeah, we'll take it. Like looking at some of the names here, man, it's like we got Blake Martinez, who's excellent.
He's a tackling machine. He's a known commodity. He's good.
Yeah,
solid linebacker.
Behind him, though, we've got James Crawford, Curtis Bolton.
I think he played well last night. I don't know, but I saw this is surprising to me because you're not watching a ton of the week 1 preseason game, but he was PFF's top rated player for the whole league in week 1 of the preseason.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. He's he's way undersized for inside linebacker. 6 foot 228.
Wow, that's a small guy.
Yes. Not very tall. Well, I guess he's not weight-wise. He's not way below everybody else, but
6 foot.
No, he's still lower, but in 6 foot's not very tall. So he's by far the smallest of the linebackers. But yeah, he's out there holding his own. Seemed like yesterday making tackles. So he might be. He's an interesting guy to watch. Rookie out of Oklahoma, undrafted.
Nice.
I think he was even ahead of. He was out there with the starters yesterday, ahead of Ty Summers.
All right.
So it was him and Blake Martinez with the ones.
Very cool.
Not great that you got that guy out. I mean, it's great that he's playing. Looks like he's playing decently, but boy, I would like to have just another known commodity out there. I don't think I'm ready to put a crown on Curtis Bolton and say he's the next Patrick Willis out there or anything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, especially just because last year we were well aware of like how much of a liability it was having the inside linebacker position get exposed. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many, inside run plays it was like you just watch like I think it was watching like somebody like Cordero Patterson run up the gut. It was just like, oh my God, that guy's like 1 billion feet tall. Like, we don't have anybody that can tackle that green giant, like, just bumbling his way through the defensive line. It was like, no, Blake Martinez is hurt. Yeah. So I don't know. That's a position that I'm kind of paying attention to in the preseason here. Beyond that, it's I don't know. I'm trying to at least watch people like Rashawn Gary, Kingsley Kiki. I don't know. Some of these other dudes that
I'm still trying to figure out which one of the Smiths, the Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith, which one's which.
Zadarius Smith has the long hair.
He's number 91, right?
No. Preston
He's
Smith
55?
is 91.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Zadarius Smith is 55.
I'm telling you now, I'm never gonna be able to figure this out.
Oh, did you watch that play? Adrian Amos just like it was Nick Boyle, the tight end for Baltimore, tried to hurdle him, and he just no.
Took a knee right to the chest and just shut his ass down. There was also the play yesterday where Darnell Savage made a nice play. There was one of the tight ends running a wheel route up the sideline, and I think Darnell Savage was beat, but he's faster than Nick Boyle or whichever tight end it was for Baltimore. Made a nice recovery and was right there when the ball came down. So I was like, oh, that's a nice play. But actually, you're leading in there talking about run defense. Not being great last year, talking about inside linebackers. I didn't think the run defense yesterday was great. And you can say it's preseason. But I think the one thing in preseason you can look at, no one's scheming for each other, but run defense is run defense. That's hat on a hat in the trenches, just man-to-man football. So that running any sort of scheme, I don't think is going to make a big difference there. And it wasn't great. Didn't love the run defense yesterday by the Packers. To be fair, I think Baltimore is one of the probably more physical offensive rushing teams in the NFL. And they've really probably doubled down on that with Lamar Jackson, what they're going to be doing once the regular season starts, once they get into that full read option and doing more stuff with the quarterback. Really embracing being a running team, a very very heavy running team.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good test yesterday, but I wouldn't say they passed it with flying colors by any means.
No, I agree. And I had the same thoughts on the run defense. It was, watching some of these dudes, gave me some PTSD from last year, just watching some of these dudes break off big chunks. That Lamar Jackson just juke city in the first quarter, or whatever the first half.
Yeah, okay, well, whatever. On one hand, it's like, oh man, you gotta get them, but on the other hand, it's like, we don't play these dudes ever. We're not playing this team ever, and he's the only guy in the league that really can do that way. Right. So, whatever. I'm not putting too much stock into that. It's fun to watch, but it's stuff like just on a first down and Mark Ingram's running for 6 yards up the middle. That's not great.
Right.
Doing that consistently. That's the more troubling thing.
Yes. Well, you got some reasons for concern here. Well, we talked about inside linebacker here, run defense. What about the backup quarterback situation?
Yeah, the backup quarterback situation. Don't love it. With the Deshaun Kaiser, Tim Boyle, I saw someone tweet this out, and I agree with it. It's pretty much kind of up in the air. I think it's kind of a pretty close race for that backup quarterback spot, which is not good. I did not love anything Tim Boyle did last season in the preseason, and was shocked that he made the 53-man roster last year. Didn't play terrible yesterday. I don't know what he did in the first preseason game, but wasn't great. And Deshaun Kaiser didn't turn the ball over, which is when you're coming out of a game and he didn't turn the ball over. That's great. It's not good. It's not good that you're
dude. That's like some Alex Hornibrook shit.
Yeah, actually. It's dude, just don't fucking turn the ball over, and we'll see.
Yeah, it's like nails on a chalkboard watching Deshaun Kaiser play quarterback for us, man. It's like it. And
I thought the broadcast yesterday James Lofton did a real nice job. There was 2 throws where he's throwing up the sideline. On one of the drives they had fairly deep into Baltimore territory, and he's throwing up the sideline and just kind of leaving it out there too far. Where Jimmy Graham and I don't remember who the other guy was, but the other receiver, might have been Devontae Adams. They never had a shot at it. Where on those balls, if you just throw it up and underthrow it a little bit, at least the guy, one of those big-bodied receivers, especially Jimmy Graham, is elite. Looking at elite level, go up and get those 50-50 balls. So, yeah, just like little things like that where it's not terribly inaccurate, but man, it's just like you got to have more awareness about who you got out there and how you're attacking that defense in that situation, understanding that matchup where you have that matchup advantage, and at the very least giving your guy a shot to go up and get it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I agree. And you saw the same thing last year when he had to step in and play like that week 1 game when Aaron Rodgers was taken out. And then at the end of the season, after it was determined that we were just not in playoff contention, it was like, this is like he's, like you said, he's not giving the receivers an opportunity to even make a play. And on these on these gimme throws, it's kind of like, dude.
Yeah, there's one yesterday, a quick slant to Geronimo, and he threw it way behind him. Geronimo made the catch, but man, I was like, got to put it on his body at least a little bit. I'll throw it a mile behind him. But to be fair on that play, I think if he made, I don't know for sure, it just looked bad, but going back into the teeth of the defense, I actually might have saved Geronimo from getting his head knocked off, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Just wasn't a play that made me go, "Yep, that'll work."
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know. Tim Boyle looks fine. I don't know. It's when you really compare the two, it's kind of tough because it's you're looking at some of these things that DeShone Kaiser's doing, and it's like, oh my goodness, he looks like he has the willies out there. And then Tim Boyle goes out there and, I don't know, makes one play. He's not necessarily generating a tremendous amount of offense comparatively to DeShone Kaiser. I mean,
just looks like he's less bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like at least when you're rolling the dice here, we're gonna turn up something okay every now and then. With DeShone Kaiser, it just, oh my goodness. It's kind of what you're saying and what people are saying. It's like ending drives with kicks, not picks. It's I feel like at least with Tim Boyle, maybe not generating a lot of offense, but I don't think he's throwing a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely if you want to look at it a different way, DeShone Kaiser has a higher ceiling than Tim Boyle. Definitely, I think he has more talent, more arm talent, more athleticism, but the floor is very, very low for DeShone Kaiser. When he's bad, he's terrible.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I just hope Aaron Rodgers doesn't get hurt.
I remember the first time it's funny talking about DeShone Kaiser. I mean, it was super weird hearing the news of him getting traded to the Packers because he never really seemed like a guy that the Packers would pick up. And I remember my first exposure to DeShone Kaiser, it was when we were living together on Mifflin. It was we had that Texas Notre Dame game on where they went into double overtime, and it was 50 to 40 something. I remember because it was him and Malik Rozier were battling for the quarterback 1 position. And so both of them were playing in this game, and it went to 2 overtimes, and it was DeShone Kaiser, and it was I don't know. It was is kind of weird, but it was that was the big talk after week 1 was DeShone Kaiser, is he the quarterback that gets drafted?
Yeah, he did get drafted to the Browns, and it was bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't remember that game, that college game. But my fondest DeShone Kaiser memory is when the Packers played the Browns his rookie year. That game goes to overtime.
Yes.
And Deshaun Kaiser just like he's getting pressure or something. They have the ball, and he just throws the highest floater. He's getting his. He throws it like straight up in the air, 20 yards down the field. And Josh Jones is like fielding it like a punt.
Yes.
Oh, dude, you just gotta fucking take the sack.
That happened in one of these. I think it was the first week preseason game. We were definitely on the field, and I watched Deshaun Kaiser do one of those. Not quite like I know what you're talking about, where he just heaved it up, but he did something like that in the first week of preseason when he was getting pressured, and it was that's some Madden shit, man. X button.
500, dead or alive.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Eli Manning in the Super Bowl against the Patriots the first time.
Yeah.
Dave Tyree, go fucking get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I agree. Backup quarterback, it's like, Aaron, please just don't get hurt.
Hey, like we were saying about receivers, it could be a lot worse. Could have the Giants receivers. Could be the Eagles backup quarterback situation where everybody's fucking hurt.
Oh yeah, dude. Watching who was that? Cody Kessler?
Well, Nate Sudfeld was the original backup, and he broke his leg or arm. I don't know. He's done for the year essentially. So then, Cody Kessler. Okay, he's quarterback number 2, and he got a concussion or broke his neck or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he got hit hard in that preseason game.
So now he's done. I just remember it was a head injury because I saw something on Twitter. Someone made the joke, like, replying to Ian Rappaport after he broke the news or reported that he was injured. It's like, Ian, give it to me straight. Do we need to amputate Cody's head?
Man, Cody Kessler, dude. Throwing dimes to Juju Smith-Schuster in the Holiday Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We saw those dudes. We were at that game against Wisconsin and San Diego.
Sure. USC.
Jack Sitchie with 3 sacks in a row.
3-sack Jack, that's right.
What's he up to these days?
He's on Tampa Bay's roster.
Oh, cool. Remember Vince Beagle? He's on the Packers for a year.
Yeah, man. What is he doing?
He's gone. He's non-league. Done.
He's not?
Nope. Played 1 year for the Packers, and that's it.
Wow. That's surprising. He's a linebacker for the New Orleans Saints. You're a goddamn liar.
Fuck me. 26. He's in his late 20s.
Oof, he is in his late 20s. Where is he on the depth chart, though? It's probably like some cool special teams player.
No, he's on the practice squad last year.
Oh,
but then he got promoted to the active roster on September 21st, 2018.
Oh. Look at Vince go. Yeah, I remember that guy.
Did not play in a game last year, though.
Oh, very cool.
Played 9 total career games, has 16 tackles.
Oh.
Yeah. 4th round pick.
Dude.
4th round's not been very good lately.
Imagine this fucking quarterback room, dude. Drew Brees, Teddy Bridgewater, and Taysom Hill. It's a dream.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Makes me all very jealous.
Especially because the Packers had one of those guys and just let him walk.
I know. Just come on. But anyway, we got some reasons for optimism here.
Yeah, it's not all doom and gloom. So no one important's gotten injured, so that's good. They're being very cautious with Brian Bulaga, which I think is smart. He's been getting a lot of days off in practice. Dave Bakhtiari's not been worked super hard, so that's good. So those are 2 important pieces on that offensive line, the two most important pieces. I don't know. A couple guys banged up, but I'm not too worried about nothing big or major to anybody important.
Yeah.
Health is wealth, as my grandma says. Health
Right.
is wealth.
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood, nobody sustains any serious injuries, at least for our start. It's the fucking worst, man. When like the Jordy Nelson injury from a few
Yeah.
years ago, it's just like, God damn it! Like this fucking game doesn't mean a damn thing. And when the starters because they're just, I mean, I understand why some of them probably want to play. It's like, yeah, I don't know, you get paid to do this. This is your fucking career. Of course you want to play, but it's just so silly. Like when you see like those guys get like serious injuries, like ACL tears and broken bones or whatever. It's like, oh my goodness, this game doesn't mean anything. That like,
Yeah.
if we got rid of these games, it like nothing would. I mean, I understand like you cannot get rid of preseason games. It makes money. This doesn't go away. You don't get rid of a source of revenue.
No, unless you replace it with a better source of revenue, like trading preseason games for regular season games. But
Right.
that'll come next. That'll come next year in CBA discussions and negotiations.
It's a big thing, man. The 18-game season.
Yeah, man. Well, and one argument you can make against, like, well, you don't need the preseason, or whether you do or don't need it. Well, I don't know. College football doesn't have a preseason, and they're fine.
Yeah, college football just goes.
Yeah. They play really important games week 1.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, it's like they practice, man. Football players fucking practice. Like, I watch them outside of my office window. I mean, I don't know. Like, I understand that playing a different team is different than playing against your own team, but, like, I don't know.
Don't have to.
Right. I mean,
They don't play preseason games in high school.
no. So, yeah,
I don't think the XFL is going to have preseason games.
that's what's up. Just business.
Yeah. None of that fuck shit.
That's what we like about the XFL.
That's what we loved about the AAF.
No fuck shit.
Yeah.
Also,
no pay.
Yeah, no money either.
Whoops. Well, anyways, we were talking about run defense before. One of the silver linings in that, though, despite it not being great, was Kenny Clark is a fucking man over here playing nose tackle. He's very good, and he should stick around. He's gonna get re-signed, and he's gonna make some money and stick around for a while.
Yeah, it certainly makes the departure of Mike Daniels a little bit easier, having a stud in Kenny Clark.
Yeah, he made some impressive plays last night on some of the run plays where they nutted up and did give up a bunch of yards. But, yeah, he's good. That's good. I like it. Also, Jay Kumro's good. We already kind of talked about him, but, yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah. He put, I think, Ravens, one of their top draft picks, one of their DBs, put him on spin cycle yesterday, running just a out pattern for 22 yards. That's pretty cool.
That's what's up.
Breaking ankles out there.
Yeah. So that's
Packers.
That's Packers.
Great this year.
That's football, baby.
11-5.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about this fantasy, the wins above replacement?
I don't know. This is something you sent me earlier today. Fantasy War wins above replacement, and it was a real simple calculation where they're. I don't really remember how to explain it, but they could quantify pretty simply how valuable different players are compared to an average player. How many more wins they're responsible for over the course of an entire 12-game fantasy regular season.
Yeah,
So
I mean
that's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah, the example they used was Todd Gurley, and so they compared how many more points like Todd Gurley accrued than the middle of the pack, the 24th ranked running back, who was Matt Breida last year. And then they calculated how many points he scored above him, and then they quantified it on like an average basis through the course of 12-game fantasy season. And I think what they came out with, he was the top guy. He had the highest WAR with like
2.17.
2.7 something. Because the example they used was if you were 5-8, having Todd Gurley compared to Matt Breida on your team would have earned you 3 more wins.
Yeah.
So yeah. It was a cool read. It was, I mean, interesting stuff. I mean, they explained a lot of things on there because they had like the Bears defense had a really high WAR. And that was, I mean, they explained in there that, I mean, there's statistical anomalies with defense in particular, and the Bears defense in particular.
But yeah, just a different metric in it, and it holds water a lot better using wins above replacement as an interesting thing to measure in fantasy than it does for actual regular football.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many more variables when you're considering actual football and how, you know, player X affects the actual what percentage of a win above replacement player he's responsible for. Unlike baseball, which is still complex, that whole process is pretty complex, but is much more well defined.
Yes, it's very popular in baseball.
Yeah. So.
Yep. So that's that. Pretty cool thing. Might use it this year. Might not. But
yeah,
that
looking at that.
fantasy is something that's coming up though, and it's something that, I mean, we'll definitely be talking about next week, because I think next week I will hopefully have the draft order set, as long as everybody.
Breaking news.
Yeah, as long as I didn't text anybody today, but I want to have it figured out by next week, because we're 10 days out from the draft here. It'll be 1 week from Monday. So I wanted to give at least a week for people to fuck around with draft pick trading if they wanted to.
I feel like I just want to make a trade a draft pick just to do it because I can.
I know.
I've never been able to before.
We should just trade the first round, 1 for 1.
We should trade our last round or 15th round or whatever. Something relatively inconsequential.
I'll give you my 15th and 14th round pick for your...
For a 2028 second.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be going. So we'll have a better picture of that, and then the following week we'll hopefully, I mean, we will have the draft completed, so we'll be able to go over that. I'll be excited to see how that goes.
Hell yeah. That'll be fun.
It's all this news. I keep forgetting about how much news comes out like during the preseason here, and it's like today we heard that Josh Gordon was reinstated. I mean, people are just getting injured. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, I really thought about putting the draft on the Monday, like Labor Day, because I read about this on Reddit. It was like some guy who's like, yep, I've done this every single year for the last like 7 years. Me and my buddies who play fantasy, we always have it on the Monday night at like 7 p.m. of Labor Day, because we all know that we're going to be home because we all have to go to work on Tuesday.
Huh.
And I was like, that makes sense. That's
makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, and I thought about it, but I was like, oh my god, I don't know. Like, I think we have too many people in our group who maybe don't work like a regular old 9 to 5.
Yeah, we have at least a few of them.
Right. So I don't know. I'll just put it on this day. But anyway, Ohio State trademarked the word "the." Or tried to.
And they got roasted for that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how this is gonna play out. I'm not really sure about. Like, you read the articles about it, and it looks bad, and I'm not sure if it looks any.
Terrible.
Yeah. Like, it's just so fucking like. I don't know the word I even want to use for it. It seems very like snooty.
Yes.
And so anyway, I'm not sure exactly how this whole process works, but reading about it, it seems pretty clear that Ohio State wants to like market a line of apparel that's geared towards like the Ohio State, like specifically the word "the," like specifically, as Ohio State does, the Ohio State. And I think that they're trying to trademark that so that they can release a line of apparel that's specifically only that, so that they can make money for people that want to buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that, like I guess kind of makes sense, but it's also like, I don't know. It doesn't really make the optics any better because then it's like, well, all right, you're just doing this really dumb thing to make more money for your university that I know already makes a ton of fucking money because it's Ohio State.
Well, couldn't you just still make a lot of money without trademarking the most commonly used word in the English language?
Right. Like, yeah. I don't know. It, like, yeah, like you said, they got roasted by pretty much everybody, and it was just embarrassing. And I think people from OSU were even, like, pretty embarrassed that it was like, oh, fuck. Look like a bunch of assholes.
But they're still doing it, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean they're
still applying. They're not like, ooh, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do this.
Yeah, no, they're holding tight.
Which I respect that just just that whatever, double down, sticking with it, don't care.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Come on, guys.
But yeah, well. That's everything, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's everything on the list. I guess we talking for an hour.
Golly, here we are. It's time to go. Once again, birthday presents can be sent to us. Patreon.com/definitelytheexperts. Patreon.com/definitelytheexperts.
That's correct. Definitely the experts. Yeah, I guess we'll see y'all next week. Hopefully have some more info for you. Check us out on all of our channels. YouTube, obviously. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, the Patreon.
Patreon.com/definitelytheexperts.
Patreon.com/ yeah, definitely the experts.
Smash that subscribe button. Like, comment, share, rate, subscribe. Follow, unfollow, refollow.
Let us know if you want some more live streams from when we're out in the field doing field work for the podcast.
Yes.
Our media passes.
Those great sideline shots.
That's right.
With all sorts of wild filters.
We'll get you some exclusive footage straight from Matt LaFleur's golf cart.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. We got to tell that story real quick.
Man. Yeah, so we had the first preseason game. We were sitting in the loading dock after our first performance I think it was actually before our first quarter performance. It must have been.
Yeah, it was after kickoff, it was during the first quarter.
Yep. So we go back into the loading dock, and there are just a number of gators and golf carts like lying all over the place. And as the Tundra Line does, we sit all over these golf carts because that's what we do. And the bleachers that are back in the loading dock are usually taken by little football players, little tykes.
Bunch of children.
Yeah, or the Knights of Columbus, or the whoever is back there, really. And so we sit on these golf carts, and so I'm sitting on this golf cart, and I'm sitting there with one of my friends, and Sam gets on the back, and there's like a seat belt to like strap yourself in. So Sam,
I was you were sitting shotgun, I was sitting in the driver's seat. That was Andrew in the back.
That was Andrew in the back. Okay, yeah, sorry. Andrew straps himself in on this golf cart. This golf cart is like very nice, by the way. Like we all notice
the one that's 100% nicer than all the other golf carts. All the other golf carts are just regular ones. This is like a very nice. It had it wasn't leather seating, but might as well have been. But I was all tricked out. And
it was like black. It looked like it had fucking flames on the side. It was like
had the Packers G on it in a bunch of spots. That was all nice.
Yeah. And so we're sitting on this thing, and our marketing intern rolls on by, and she goes, "Hey, that's Matt LaFleur's golf cart, so you guys probably shouldn't sit in that." And so we immediately piled out because we were like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
This is
and said, "Thank God that wasn't anybody like that was just the marketing person that knows us."
Yeah, right.
Not somebody like from like I don't know football operations or whatever that would have probably gotten angrier.
Yeah. Yes. So, blessing in disguise that it was our intern that told us that, and not like a coach that was running back to the locker room or something, because we were just fucking around in Matt LaFleur's golf cart. But it all made sense after she said that. It was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. No wonder we've never seen this golf cart before.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was that. This is kind of funny. Kind of cool. Matt LaFleur has this giant walking boot that looks like a bionic leg.
Yep. Well, he's out of the boot now. He's done with it.
Hell yeah.
So he's back at 100%.
That's right. That Achilles injury did it in half the time.
Hell yeah.
Cool. All right. I think that'll do it for us, though.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to, again, that's patreon.com, definitely the experts. Patreon.com, definitely the experts.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.